Welcome to Bedtime Bible Stories number 18. For those of you who didn't watch last week, we finished the Old Testament. So yay to you, meaning we're going to get right into the New Testament this week. But before we get going too far, do need to do a shout out to Kelly Stolp. She was the first person to correctly say that I was in the television show genre Doctor Who, and that was the TARDIS behind me. So way to go, Kelly. Major props there. For those of you who are wondering, I always do leave up for like 10 seconds or so at the end the picture without me here, just in case there's any important clues for you to get from that. You do want to hang on throughout the entire episode because I am going to give you a clue this week to where I currently am, because I know it's a little bit harder than normal. So hang on throughout the whole episode, and I'll give you a clue at the end, all right? And then, of course, make your guesses in the comment line below. First person gets a shout out next week. Okay, so now to the ever-important joke of the day. Did you hear about the overeducated circle? No? Well, let me tell you, he had 360 degrees. Get it, degrees? All right, let us begin with today's Bible lesson. Everything was ready. The moment God had been waiting for was here at last. God was coming to help his people just as he had promised in the beginning. But how would he come? What would he be like? What would he do? Mountains would bow down. Seas would have roared. Trees could have clapped their hands. The earth held its breath. As silent as snow falling, he came in. And when no one was looking, in the darkness, he came. There was a young girl who was engaged to a man named Joseph. Joseph was a great grandson of King David, if you remember him. One morning, this girl was minding her own business when suddenly a great warrior of light appeared right there in her bedroom. He was Gabriel, and he was an angel, a special messenger from heaven. When she saw the tall, shining man standing there, Mary was frightened too. "You don't need to be scared," Gabriel said. "God is very happy with you." Mary looked around to see if perhaps he was talking to somebody else. "Mary," Gabriel said, and he laughed with such gladness that Mary's eyes filled with sudden tears. "Mary, you're going to have a baby, a little boy. You will call him Jesus. He is God's own son. He's the one. He's the rescuer. The God who flung planets into space and kept them whirling around and around. The God who made the universe with just a word. The one who could do anything at all was making himself small and coming down as a baby." Wait, God was sending a baby to rescue the world? "But it's too wonderful," Mary said, and felt in her heart beating hard. "How can it be true? Is anything too wonderful for God?" Gabriel asked. So Mary trusted God more than what her eyes could see, and she believed. "I am God's servant," she said. "Whatever God says, I will do." Sure enough, it was just as the angel had said. 9 months later, Mary was almost ready to give birth to her baby. Now Mary and Joseph had to take a trip to Bethlehem, the town that King David was from. But when they reached the little town, they found every room was full. Every bed was taken. "Go away," the innkeeper told them. "There isn't any room for you." Where would they stay? Soon Mary's baby would come. They couldn't find anywhere except an old, tumble-down stable. So they stayed where the cows and the donkeys and the horses stayed. And there, in the stable, amongst the chickens and the donkeys and the cows, in the quiet of the night, God gave his world his wonderful gift. The baby that would change the world was born, his baby son. Mary and Joseph wrapped him up to keep him warm, and they made a soft bed of straw and used the animals, feeding trough as his cradle. And they gazed in the wonder at God's great gift, wrapped in swaddling clothes and laying in a manger. Mary and Joseph named him Jesus, Emmanuel, which means God who has come to live with us, because of course, he had. Thank you all for joining us for tonight's bedtime Bible story. So here is your clue. The location behind me is a library where the Scooby Gang figured out her secret in this teen drama from the 90s. So put your guesses in now. Of course, as with always, if you have any needs, please let us know as soon as possible. If you have any prayer requests, please let us know as soon as possible. I'll get them to Tina so that she can get them into the service. And, know that we are with you. So sleep well. Know that God is on watch and that God loves you. Good night.